Hey everyone, welcome back to more Flesh and Bad, and today we're going to be continuing to play the RTN winning Zen list that I put together. Nothing really more to talk about. I just want to try to see if I can grab some new matchups today, and yeah, just see kind of how it performs. Yeah, this list has just been really feeling pretty solid all around. Who knows if it's going to stay till RTN, but that's to be determined. I also gotten a couple questions about like Harmony Hunt, Tiger Form Incantation, Biting Breeze, and I think for the most part a lot of these cards are kind of equivalent for like in a lot of situations like 100 wins is the same card as a Biting Breeze, except like you force not like a piece of armor or whatever. But yeah, like I feel like a lot of the cards are interchangeable and might just be down to preference even. But I like just having like 5 2 blocks because if you kind of look at the rest of our blues here, like the majority of them are 2 blocks, or sorry, the majority of them are 3 blocks. And then we also have the option to either board in the blue flicks, or we can also have like the cosmics for blues as well. Yeah, so that's kind of the core theme of the deck. Everything blocks good, except the cards that we kind of want to be a little bit more aggressive with. And then, yeah, that's pretty much it. All right, yeah, let's go ahead and see if we can get some games. All right, so we got the Zen Mirror. Always go second in Zen Mirror. And what do I have for my Zen board? Yeah, this looks correct. Sure, let's go ahead and give it a try. Played a lot of Zen Mirrors during the RTN for what it's worth. I think I played like 2 or 3. Zen Mirror still, to some extent, feels pretty cursed. Just whoever kind of goes second feels like has a very, very substantial advantage. All right, so we got a turn 1 Transcend. That's kind of scary. I wonder if they're actually going to play it out here, if they're going to just pass. I feel like passing is probably correct. I mean, I guess it depends on what they're doing, but... Because, like, we can actually block this fairly well. Okay, they are going to use it up here, sure. This might not actually be that bad. All right, coming in for 3 to start. We'll go ahead and block with Incant. They're at least giving us filtering here, which is like pretty alright. Alright, so we have Chase. So we want to block with Command and Conquer specifically. We block 2 on the aspect, we got 4 on the last thing. I think that's the most efficient way to do it. So we'll leak 2 damage here. They have to keep an arsenal, but we get max filtering, which is really important. So we'll go ahead and pass on this. Click it. So we go to 38. And then we should full block this, and then whatever they want to do last is probably just Arsenal. So this wasn't really even that bad for us, because like they obviously developed Chi, which is pretty bad, but like we get max filtering, and now we're able to draw into drop in the ocean, which is real good. The problem with this is now we have to break Pouncing Paws. But that's, I think, okay. Or we just draw into like the best card we can possibly draw. I'll accept that as well. All right, they have it. That all you got? That's fine. It's a pretty good card in the mirror, honestly. But I've honestly kind of stopped checking for the mirror at this point. Like, I don't know what percentage of the, like, feels like Zen is like just a very, very low percentage of the meta. So like, what is the real point of bringing in like mirror tech? All right, let's go ahead and grab Breed here. Yeah, Breed's fine. And the question is, do I want to try to keep an arsenal here? I don't know that I necessarily do. Like, I feel like I'd probably just play this bouncing key out over arsenaling it if I get the opportunity to. Which, even if they block the swipe here, we should get the opportunity to play it, even if it's just coming in for 4. I think that's probably better than just having an arsenal. I think the one thing that people don't appreciate about the Zen Mirror is that it's actually not like a super fast matchup. Like, one person can definitely like high roll the other person, but it feels like it's actually got like a lot of back and forth in between it. Like they did a chase aspect at line on us on turn 0, and we were able to block almost all of it, and we took 2 damage, right? So like if you can like make your opponent like give up the tempo or like have like a weak brick hand, like you can actually kind of like gain a lot of percentage in this matchup. It feels like it feels like a matchup of like who bricks worse often. Obviously there's like the cheat component, like if someone draws like tons more cheat than the other person, it obviously gets bad. But I feel like this is a matchup about like how consistent your plays are and like how you're setting yourself up for the next turn. I say all that, but I also just like randomly hit off Harmony, so uh, maybe I'm just full of shit, but that's okay. So 0 into 5. We'll go off in our soul, which means their CNC gets worse. And like here, we're leaking, what is this? 15 damage? It's like a really solid turn. And that's also through a That All You Got as well. So it's more like 17. They get a card draw, but it's whatever. So now it becomes scary if they want to try to transcend. But if they kind of if they have like a brick hand here on their 4-card hand or 5-card hand or whatever, we're probably in pretty decent shape. All right, we do have a transcend hand, but it's not super optimal. They do get 2 modes and levels still, but at least it's not the full levels. I'll take that for what it is. All right, what are we grabbing here? Grabbing a swipe. So it means they probably have a 1-cost in the hand they want to play. All right, drawing a card as well. We'll say no blocks on the levels, see what the rest of their hand is. We're basically immune to disruption with our hand. The play this turn honestly might just be block out and pass, because I don't really want to just give them free traverse. So you have Tiger in hand, Tiger Swipe, 2 other cards, 2 floating. Didn't play the Wind Chakra either, so they need this resource, I feel like. Oh, playing out a Bittering. I feel like I will respect the Bittering. I feel like our plan this turn is still to block out, so I'm kind of fine just like blocking out non-hit. Like we don't have any cheat in hand, so like Weakest Link also doesn't do anything. So I feel like we're pretty safe from most things here. They have 1 floating. They like censor me, but we don't care, so I think it's fine. I think I just don't want to give them the opportunity to block with Traverse before I'm able to. So we'll take a little bit of more defensive posture here. We'll arsenal our aspect and then hope to draw into some transcend of our own, I guess. But we do have double levels for what that's worth, which is a decent amount. Coming in with a red Biting Breeze. Very spicy. Do I just let this hit? I think our hand is probably good enough to let this hit, so I'm going to let it. We could block this if we really wanted to, but it's basically just a 0 for 3 that also gives a Tiger, so it's not like the end of the world. Like, Tiger is obviously like very important, but I think this card is like, I think this card's probably like actually good in this matchup just because you don't always want to be blocking. But like this card, I think in general is like kind of poor. But I'm definitely looking to try to block with Traverse this turn. We have Sync Blow as well. If we need to kind of cover something. Alright, Tiger for 0 is fine. They have a CNC here, it's pretty awkward. Ooh, they might just be going for a chase. Okay, that's pretty spicy as well. So we didn't use Kakara, which means we want to use this Kakara on something else, or we want to just send in a CNC. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. So now we have the option to basically let our arsenal go and just block with Traverse, or we can do some other stuff. It's definitely interesting. I feel like we are supposed to probably just let Aspect go here and then just try to do double levels. Hope to draw into some good stuff, and then you maybe even play out Chase Tail with Pouncing Paws, but I don't know if I necessarily want to commit. I guess it kind of depends what levels does. But I think we're probably fine to just pop Traverse here. So they're getting a pretty decent amount of value out of this CNC, but sometimes it's like that. I think our hand is like good enough to the point where we can take a CNC and still be fine. Did also consider like giving up Kasaya here, but like Kasaya is such a powerful tool in this matchup. I don't necessarily just want to like give up our turn and then also give up Kasaya. Alright, so let's go ahead and start with the levels. Pitch this. What are we grabbing? Could grab a swipe here. Could also grab something else. I think grabbing Chase is fine. Maybe we're fine just popping Pouncing Paws. I want to just develop out our chases as soon as possible if we can. Passover is interesting. It looks like they want to make his end state this turn. Not fine if they do. I'd say redrew into a Chi naturally, which is kind of unfortunate for us, but that's okay. So now how do we want to proceed? Probably want to Arsenalist Passover. Yeah, this is an interesting kind of board state. For what it's worth, this Pouncing Paw would be true damage, basically, because it would be able to go through the Zen state. So yeah, it's still worth it. Could also pass over targeting something. This hand got weird. Let's banish a chase, I guess. Do we want to gain a resource? Yes. Yes, I think we do. So now this last chain link was Tiger. We play out Chase Tail, which will come in for 3. Pop Pouncing Paws, which will come in, or no, we Kakara for an extra 1 damage. Pop Pouncing Paws. Levels, get all the modes, and then whatever levels draws we do. Levels could also just brick really bad. But I don't think it really changes when we do the levels. We should probably just do it now, right? Or after we Kakara, we can do it, I think. I think this is still fine from our side. We have a little bit of a risk of bricking just because we're going to be using our Pouncing Paws. But we do have Sync Below to try to unbrick. Alright, Path Well Traveled is probably going to be what we're IPing. So that's fine. Could also make our own Zen state if they opt to pop Traverse, but maybe we kind of decide against that for now. Yeah, it's been a weird Zen mirror. I feel like the Biting Breeze and Bittering are actually kind of solid in this in the mirror. But against like other decks, I don't really know. Biting Breeze seems like Omega suspect against a lot of decks. Alright, we get 4 damage through. And then this is also 5 free damage, right? Pretty solid. I feel like we were able to navigate around the Sensei pretty well. I think it probably got like 3 or 4 value, but it's still kind of okay. And like we have Path Will Travel to hopefully not brick next turn, although it's like semi-likely. But I think we maybe got the tempo here. It's hard to tell through Zen State, but like if 5 armor to our 4 armor, and they also have Zen State, which is representing like 4 extra armor. So maybe the life totals are actually like pretty even here. Hard to tell. Alright, let's go ahead and pass. Let's Arsenal sync here, I guess. Alright, and this hand plays. Kind of. It's a little bit awkward with the path, but we can like path on a pouncing key. Kind of sucks. We're probably gonna honestly just use our sync blow to try to filter something here, like maybe filter the wind chakra for something better. Alright, we have Biting Breeze. No blocks. Giving them Tiger is obviously pretty good, but like, whatever. Like, if they have a Zen State out, so I want to block anyways. So, if they want to send like a massive huge turn here, I don't think I really care all that much. Alright, starting out with Tiger. That's fine. For what it's worth, we can also just like block 6 here if they send like their CNC, and then we can send our own CNC back at them. Alright, functionally the same thing. So let's go ahead and block with sync below, and then we can sync on, or block with pound sync key, sync below, and then just send a mono CNC at them, Arsenal Path. It's pretty good here. So let's grab that. Alright, no sync. And then this also makes their hand really awkward if they have like D-Reacts or anything in. Most likely they're just going to give us like Traverse here, which is fine. Like Traverse plus a card, or like Traverse plus Pouncing plus a card or something. But we're denying a lot of the value from the Zen State, and they don't really have a ton of tempo. Like, they obviously have Traverse, which is very high tempo, but like, I don't know if they're going to be able to do 20 and also deal with the on hit of the CNC without giving up a lot of these resources here. Alright, so he'd still pin them on a 5-card hand here, which is good. Zen State, obviously, a little bit unfortunate, but that is what it is. So we get him a 5-card hand with a Chi, but we have our own Chi kind of lined up for next turn, and we also draw a Rising Sun, which is really, really nice. So I'm thinking here that we're probably just going to let them deal however much damage they want to deal to us this turn, and then we're probably just going to fire back with our own really solid hand. So we know they have Chi in hand. They have 2 Chi in hands. Then they have Wind Chakra and then one other unknown card. Okay, we can work with this for sure. Alright, so activate Zen. They have 1 chase left if they want it. This does just kind of go to show that I do think this matchup is not just like full aggro. Like, it felt like there were a lot of decision points in this game where we wanted to just like block and try to set up for a better turn, instead of just like full send gas, gas, gas all the time. It feels like there's actually kind of a lot of like ebb and flow to this matchup that you can kind of utilize. All right, we're getting a breed, so that means we have. So assuming they want a Kakara, we have a blue in hands, and then we have one other card in arsenal. So they do have weakest links for what it's worth. So this could be like a CNC or a weakest link or something. It depends, I guess, how they pitch. But we're probably just fine to eat the damage here. No Kakara is also a little bit alarming. So this is almost certainly... So, wait. They use both Chi. So they have one other unknown card in hand and one unknown card in arsenal. So most likely this is like weakest or CNC, but CNC we can deal with super easily. Weakest is a little bit more annoying. Sure. So with weakest, what do we want to do? Maybe it's fine to just give up armor here. You can also block 6 on it for what it's worth, and then just like send transcend, send 100 Winds plus transcend, arsenal the other transcend. Maybe seems kind of fine. If they want to keep a 5-card hand, we can also make a Zen State. Depends how aggressive we want to get here, I guess. Yeah, weakest link was, I think, a lot worse for us than CNC there, but it's not the end of the world. All right, another Value guy is super annoying. The Daligots are way more annoying than the weakest links for what it's worth, but they're both kind of like pretty good. Alright, gain a resource. Nah, I guess we're just sending mauling at them. And we can choose whether or not to Zen State. It probably is actually correct to Zen State this, just because uh, they are going to have a 5-card hand. Yeah, it's probably right to Zen State. It hurts a little bit, but I think it's probably going to be worth it. Like, in an ideal scenario, I'd want to just, like, Arsenal this Rising Sun for another setup turn, but, like, we might be taking too much damage off of 5-card hand to do that. Okay, can we do it on a 4-card hand, though? 3 of which are known to them, and 1 is a random draw off the top. Interesting. I feel like it might actually be correct to just Arsenal this and not make a Zen State. I'm gonna stick to my guns here. I think it's probably worth it. Alright. They are transcending very well. But for what it's worth, like, they've also used their Kasaya and their user Shuko, so the transcends are a lot worse than my transcends are. So they come in for 4. You can do 4, 2, 1, 4. Which is not enough, I don't think. I guess they draw a card too. I guess they can also buff if they want. Wonder what this card in Arsenal is. Alright, so you draw goes the modes, that's fine. So if they have another disruption effect here, it's going to be pretty annoying. But hopefully they start out with Kakara, which will mean that we're making a tiger. Interesting. So this means chase? This has to mean chase, right? I think I'm fine with chase. So we go 2-1. That's fine. We have another tiger in hand. We have something in Arsenal. This comes in for 4, so we should probably block with Flick Flock here. So tiger in hand. 2 unknown cards. Yeah, definitely weird. E-Strike does make sense with the tiger. Sure. But now we can just block 5 on this and then probably be okay. We could block more if we wanted to. Actually, is it better to block with the Key Unleash as opposed to this? We gain a resource so we can swipe of our own. And then we're just sending a really efficient hand. We do 3, 3, 0, or 3, 3, 5, 5. It's probably too efficient, right? Yeah, so I think we're in a pretty good spot here. Wait, bottom of Tiger Eye. Not necessary. Let the Windchakra resolve. Then we'll get our Tiger Swipe, Maulin Key. Seems real good. Unfortunately, we did show them the Maulin Key. So we did give them a little information here, but we still have 6 block on our armor. And like we have the tempo here, which is real good. So they have to give us 2 cards here at least. If they let this hit, I think they actually have to give us 3 cards. They have to double block this, which means that this is actually 3 cards that we have to give, right? Because they can't just block 3 on this. They have to block... If they block 3 on this, they take 2 to go to 4. They block 3 in this. No, they can stay alive at 1 if they do that. So they only have to give us 2, I think, here. But it has to be 2/3 blocks as well. And their deck does run a lot of 2 blocks. And yeah, that looks like a lot of 2 blocks. Alright, finish on the mauling. Fortunately, no on hit, but we get them to 1, and we still have 4 points of life here. They've used their grain. So, like, there's very little we actually have to play around here. And we just have a Sync Blow as extra insurance. So I'm curious what their arsenal is. I don't think it's Tiger, because they probably bottomed the Tiger to E-Strike here. Okay, Double Transcend, sure. It's probably the best 2-card hand you can have there. But I'll accept that. Fortunately, we used our Passover already. So they get a Mauling here, and then what? We 2 take the 1 on the Tiger, block with these 2. Or block with Sync Blow, rather. I think that works. And we should just be able to pressure them from there. Right, targeting and mauling, sure. Oh, they go up to 2. Does that matter? I don't think that really matters. So I think the play is still block with Kasai here. Tiger. Block Shuko, block Sync. Assuming that they're just getting mauling, which would probably make the most amount of sense. Alright, go ahead and block with Kasaya. Alright, grab Tiger, grab mauling. So we take the 1 here, and then we double walk on the 5. The question is, do we want to Sync Stir? I think Stir is actually okay here, just as a blue pitch. So I don't think I'm going to Sync it. Let's go ahead and start with Kara. Make a Tiger. Do we have a 1 cost that we can get with Go again? I've kind of actually been toying with the idea of putting in like 1 singular spinning wheel kick just as like a good tutor target. Because there are situations like this where I'd like just want something that has consistent Go again. So this forces a block here. Then this should force a number of blocks. Could also Go again on this. I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of ways to win here. So nothing has base Go again, which is weird, but we can still just get the mauling and probably be fine. So we'll do Go again. I think this still kills, right? It basically kills. So they need a 4 block here to live. Alright, seems like they don't have it. Kind of curious to take a look at their deck afterwards. That was definitely a pretty close game. It felt like their board was pretty good into us. Like, I think that if you want like the best Zen board, like I think that I got Weakest Link and Censor, like the 3 best cards you can possibly run. For what it's worth, the Bitterings and the Biting Breezes were like also okay, I guess, but like I don't know. There becomes a certain point where like it feels like you're kind of over teching for Zen as opposed to like teching for other heroes. Like Bittering and Biting Breeze are pretty bad against a lot of heroes that are just able to block super well, which is why I'm kind of not a fan of them. Just because like you basically need a hit to get the effect, right? And most decks in the game are just running D-Reacts, which is kind of just like the default, right? But otherwise, their list seems pretty good. Kind of, I think, a little bit lower combo count than normal. Double wins is also kind of suspect, but seems like a pretty solid list. Playing against Marionettes, we generally like to go second in Marionettes, and then let's grab our Slippy board. So I think I like to generally turn down to a clean 60 against Slippy. I think we're only running 1 Cosmic. I've not seen a CYB Slippy yet, but that might make me change my mind on overboarding. But until that happens, I think this is pretty good. It seems like they are overboarding a little bit. Kind of interesting. Also running 1 Huntsman. Interesting. Just basically, is there ever a reason to run this card? Not that I'm aware of. Let's go ahead and block with Aspect here. It's probably our weakest card in hands. Alright, and the old Bonds of Agony, sure. I'm okay filtering here, I think. Alright, so we can just do Kara into E-Strike and then Arsenal Wax. I think that's okay. We also saw one Bonds of Agony out of the way. So I think we're fine just losing out on like two kind of do nothing cards in our deck. It's not the end of the world. Arsenal or Wax, and then just try to find some Transcend. Right, playing out Spinneret. Sure. To Arts Their Body. So I have a way to give us go again yet. So which means they'd have to flick the knife at me. Notably, one thing with Art is Our Body in heroes that are not new is that you can actually block kind of efficiently and then still play around it. Like you block with the red card and won't get banished just by blocking. Yeah, this hand's kind of weird. I just want to block 6 here, and then if they want to flick and give it go again, maybe I'm fine with that. Yeah, maybe I'll just pass and see what they do. I feel like most likely answer is just flick a dagger at me to give it go again, and then we can just save some cards for blocking out like CNC or something after this. Do need to find our Transcend, but that's okay. We always have to try to find our Transcend, right? Alright, so we get go again, banish off the top. They unfortunately draw a card, which is a little gross, but sometimes is what it is. Alright, mark the prey. I think that's okay. I think we'll block 3 here, and then if they want to give this go again, we're fine with that. If they want to try to buff it, also probably fine with that. Probably just looking to send a 2-card 7 at them. So they want to try to get the mark here. I'll try to deny it as much as I can. I think it's good to at least threaten it. And then their card draw off the Our Desire Body didn't seem to matter a ton, which is also good. But we'll just deny the flip value. We'll deny the mark. Also giving go again. Or I guess it doesn't give go again on this tack, but gives go again in the future potentially. And Chase is sometimes an awkward arsenal, but it's not terrible if we're able to like find the sauce to make it work, right? I feel like people have been asking me a lot about this matchup. I don't think this matchup's like I think this matchup is better matchup for us than New is, for instance. Like, I don't know. I don't think this matchup is like as scary as New is for us because like we have to lose out on so much in the new matchup. Like Siren's Call is such a huge threat. What else is a huge threat? Just like we have to lose levels, which is really bad. Like there's a ton of annoying shit in the new matchup that like Arakni just doesn't have. So it immediately just feels better to me. All right, pulling Tunic here. Okay, it seems like they have kind of a clunky hand. How reliant do we think that they are on getting this mark? If we think that they're super reliant, we could go ahead and block with the Tiger Eye here. I don't think that would be that bad of a block. They're also pitching a CNC. Like, I wonder if they need this mark to make their hand work. But like, they can just get it whenever they want anyways. So maybe it's fine to let them hit with this. My logic is they can flick whenever to get the mark, so it's not like we're not actually stopping them from marking us here. Oh, and this is like nothing. Sure, I don't think we care about this. Like they could like do the Bonds of Agony thing. That would be annoying. This kind of does feel like a does kind of feel like that, doesn't it? Okay, how do we want to hedge against that specifically? I guess the answer would be to probably block with Tiger Eye. Sure. All right, this definitely feels like the that card, the Take Up the Mantle. So a little bit unfortunate here, but it is what it is. It's not like the end of the world necessarily. They get to probably Bonds away or Rising Sun, and then we still get to like play out our hand for the most part. And they also have to use like a resource here in order to make this work. Assuming they don't have React in hand. So I'm kind of okay with this. Alright, mess me up. Alright, 10 damage. Take my Rising Sun. Presumably. Taking that 100 wins instead. That can't be right. Really? Alright, fascinating. Well, in that case, I mean, we're just gonna hold on to the Rising Sun then. I think that means we're now having to like play out the chase from Arsenal. You can also pitch it. I feel like there are a lot of options here, but I think I'm gonna just like pitch Tiger Swipe here, pouncing pause to just get 4 value. It's probably good enough pouncing pause. It does like make us a little susceptible to bricks, but I think it's okay. All right, go ahead and just get our 4 value cashed in here. All right, they get a random Mario. Trapdoor could be annoying if they're on Inertia Trap. Well, let's hope that they're not. But even if they do, we can just send 2 damage. I guess it's not even that bad. Alright, Lair Spider's also not bad for us. I mean, it's like a little bad, but like they don't have the flipped Mario, so it's kind of okay. Alright, go ahead and Arsenal the Rising Sun, pass back, and now we just have double Transcend to try to dodge like a CNC or Leave No. So we're in a really good spot here because they left us with the Rising Stun instead of the 100 wins. I think I'm going to try to punish them for that mistake as hard as I can here. And we don't care about the stagger, obviously, because we're already marked, so reapplying the mark doesn't do anything. And they have been shown to run CNC, so okay, Leave No, obviously no surprise here. So let's go ahead and probably just dodge it. We'll probably end up arsenaling our Sink Blow. So pass reacts, let it hit. Then we can Rising Sun, drain it. And it's very important we want to pass reacts here so that they don't have the opportunity to play a react or anything. All right, let's get rid of the pouncing here. We'll probably just spam the Harmony just to see if we can grab something off the top. But now we have basically the full tempo here. They do get to reapply Mark, but that's, I think, okay. All right, banish a Cosmic. Probably don't need it anyways unless they're CYB, but they haven't shown us the CYB yet, so we might just be able to kill them before then. All right, let's go ahead and grab, where is it? We'll grab our Aspects. Do a nice little buff chase Aspect line with a D-React in Arsenal to kind of follow it up, and then we're also just set up on our Traverse as well. I feel like we're a little bit late to the game in terms of transcending there, but our opponent basically gave us the opportunity to kind of get back in this game. All right, pretty solid hand for blocking. We have Sink Below, we have Traverse up. Things are looking pretty good. We probably do just want to let this hit. Sure. We're not going to die to this. All right, banish Tiger Eye so they don't get their draw value. That's good for me. Then I think here we're pretty much just looking for the opportunity to go ahead and block with Traverse, block with another card. Don't think we really care about Knife here all that much. Oh, we're pitching a Justinic too. It's probably pretty good for us. All right, finishing up with the CNC. Had been annoying, but still not the end of the world. So we grab our Chi, we can do Kakara, grab what? What do we want to grab? We can grab a Chase, actually, and just play out the Tiger form, not do Kakara. That's probably more damage, right? Yep, sounds good to me. So this matchup typically ends a lot faster than like the new matchup does, but it's still like a pretty aggro matchup. Or it's still like a very like disruptive matchup, I guess. It's a little bit more aggro than new, but you generally are kind of just like throwing damage back and forth at each other. But it just feels like I have a lot more agency in this matchup than I do against new, for instance. All right, let's go ahead and incant here. Grab our chase. Inertia trap is still going to be a little unfortunate here if they have it, but hopefully not the end of the world. One, four, four, five. Pretty decent. And then we still just have this thing pull up for backup. So this is probably the last time for Inertia Trap if they run it, which would be probably pretty devastating here. Okay, no Inertia Trap. Now we demand the trap here, and then we also demand, I think, a card. Or do they just not have a trap? Have they used all of them? They just running one? That's kind of interesting. One trap in your Arakni deck. That seems a little low. So what was this card that was flipped? I guess we'll never know. Huh. Yeah, I guess we are unable to see what they tuned for. They had Tarantula Toxin plus Isolates. Wait, did they not have another? I guess they didn't have another trap in their deck. Wait, why are you running under the trapdoor if you have like a singular trap? That's so crazy. I guess okay. I guess under the trapdoor doesn't care about searching from your deck, right? Search from your graveyard. Okay, I can kind of see that now. So like you just tutor the one trap and then play it, and then then you have like 3 of these cards for tutoring that singular trap. Okay, kind of interesting. This deck seems like kind of interesting. The public bounties are not a card I think I've seen a lot played, but maybe it fits into their like cost curve or whatever. But yeah, otherwise it looks like a pretty normal Arakni deck. I think Death Touch is also a little bit spicy, but for the most part, normal Arakni. Isolate's also kind of an interesting include. I think that might actually be kind of a cool one. I've seen that pop up a lot as well. All right, yeah, but I think it's probably gonna wrap it up for today. So we played against a couple of pretty good decks, and yeah, this list just still feels really solid. I don't even necessarily know what I want to change about it. Like if I had to like pick on something, it's probably like maybe like some ratio of like these crappy blues is probably what I'd be tweaking on next. But like the reds feel really good, the sideboard feels really good, the cosmics are maybe like this is typically one more cosmic than I typically end up running. So like maybe cutting a cosmic for like a better blue and like maybe like tweaking around with some of like the ratios of these blues are probably what I'm looking at next. But like the reds feel just like very, very good. And then like the sideboard package feels really good as well. All right, yeah, so I think it's going to probably wrap it up today. So some more Zen gameplay. We're probably actually going to take a little bit of a break from Zen gameplay to maybe experiment with some other decks. But yeah, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all next time. And a special thank you to all the folks who decided it would be a good idea to give us $2 on Patreon. We really appreciate the support, but it's obviously never required.